Alright, so here it is, the Z-Track Z920M. Most of y'all know I've had this mower for like 6 seasons. It was my primary main mower up until I got the Quick Track. And I still get use out of it. If my father-in-law or brother-in-law go with me, they'll use this mower. But right now, this is back to being my primary, as I don't have the Quick Track. Y'all know it's in the shop. It has right at 1,570 hours on it. But suspension seat. Now this is an aftermarket seat. This is not the John Deere seat. I bought this off of eBay. I think it was about $400. It was listed as a forklift / tractor seat. But I wasn't paying $1,400 for the John Deere suspension seat. So, go over it real quick. Obviously, it's a suspension seat. So, the base is supported. It does have an adjustable weight here. The gauge for it is this little dial here. As you turn it, that goes all the way up. Turn it back that way, and you see it goes back the other way. I think this is for a lighter rider and this is for a heavier rider. So I normally have it that way. So this flips down, that adjusts. Seat back flips up and down. So like if you had to park it, say, and get off, and you want to try to minimize some rain or something getting on it, if you couldn't park it under something, you can pull this lever, flips down. You'll see you get seat belt. Armrests are neat because these are adjustable. This little dial here spins, and you can see it moves up. So it's about even, I think, where I had them at. And one good thing about that is the way when these come in. So like I know Spartan sells these. I'm not sure who else actually sells them. Like the arm supports. So you can actually adjust these up so your arm is more level to the steer bar, which is pretty cool. So definitely a much better ride than the original seat that was on this. This did not have a suspension seat on it. Just simply the cushion. It's got some iso mounts under here. See the little rubber mounts there. Let me flip this up here. So it was basically these two rubber mounts supporting the bottom of the platform, and then basically the cushion on the seat. So that was about it. Got my cover off of my positive cable here. Get that back on there. So this is, flip that up. About as heavy as the original seat with the plate that goes on the bottom of it and everything. This does, I think I need to grease it because it doesn't do it very well, but where it's at for right now is fine for me. I can adjust the back to sit up a little straighter if I need to, or anything like that for support. It does have tracks on it to slide, and you just pull your handle out and slide it back and forth. So like I said, I think I need to grease that because it doesn't really want to move, but it's good for me. So that's a lot of the cool features of it. Like I say, it's a much better ride with this machine. If you're gonna get a Z-Track, I will highly recommend and implore you to get it with the suspension seat on it. Makes a world of difference in the ride. The only suspension this thing has, like when I bought it, as I mentioned, was the iso mounts, your tire pressure that has some give, and the cushion of the original seat. The seat did not have any suspension on it whatsoever. It's stationary. That being said, as pertains to simply the Z-Track system, really only two cons to this. I like the adjustable armrest, obviously the adjustable suspension in the seat. Price point is excellent. Two things that I'm not the biggest fan of, especially for mowing all day on it, if you have a couple of rough yards, is the actual cushioning of this seat. And it's probably because it's meant for like a forklift. It's not gonna, you're not meant to ride it that much. This is stiff. This is as compared to the original John Deere seat. If this base was underneath, or something like this was underneath that, even that original John Deere seat with the cushioning that was on it, would be an even better ride. So, but it's still more comfortable than the original seat with no suspension. So, but just know if you buy something like this, or buy this one off of eBay, I think they still sell them. It's going to be very, very stiff when you first get it, especially. Like I said, it's a little bit better now, but I would prefer to have a little bit better padding. So that's kind of one somewhat con to it. The other part is application or mounting. Obviously, with this being an aftermarket, kind of broad spectrum type seat, it's labeled for forklift tractors, and I think it described it as being zero-turn mower as well. Anyway, as pertains to the Z-Track, and those of you who saw all the install videos, go back and check those out. If I can figure out a way to make it work for my phone, I'll try to link them in the description below. But mounting, the way this seat is made for the brackets on the original Z-Track seat, it has a ridge. You can see here, you see it on the other side, that ridge that the tracks set down in on the original seat and bolted to this frame. The way this seat is made, it has a solid metal plate that is welded to these tracks on the bottom of the seat. This metal plate will not fit in between these ridges. You can see how it sits on there on both sides. So what I ended up having to do, so the application of using this seat is to get the threaded spacer nut, which is like a 1-inch length, and basically thread it onto the threaded studs on the bottom of the seat, and then run the bolts back up through the bottom into the bottom of that nut and basically pinch it together to hold it in place. Make sure you get a very steady bolt, because with it sitting up there, it does tend to slide a little bit, and I have broken one of these previously. It's been fine since me and my brother repaired it, but all things considered, cons, the things I like about it, number one being the cost. Saved me roughly $1,000 from the John Deere seat. I think I've had this seat on here for around 3 seasons, something like that. I know it's got about 400 to 500 hours, so 2 to 3 seasons, something like that. We'll call it 2 seasons, 2 to 2.5. My father-in-law has loved it since the times he's been helping me since it's been put on. First couple times he used it, and I asked him, he said it was just night and day difference from the regular seat. The original seat actually made it about 1,100 hours roughly before the cushioning had just given out and had to be replaced. And like I said, I wasn't paying $1,400 for the John Deere seat. But overall review, if I had it to do over, would I buy this again? I would say yes. But if I had it to do all over again, I would simply buy this mower with the suspension seat already included, because I think it's only like a $600 upgrade, I believe, maybe a little more than that, maybe. But even then, if you just get it up front, I think would be better off. But definitely a viable option if you don't currently have the suspension seat and you want one. Like I said, this one was only like $400 after tax. So good cost. Got some good features with the adjustable armrest, obviously the adjustable suspension knob and everything. Slight cons is it's a little aggravating to install, but if you watch my videos, you can pretty much see everything I did and how it works. And you basically have to cut the pigtail off of the seat switch. This is wired for the seat safety switch, but you simply have to straight wire it because it does not have a plug on the end. It just has the wires. So I basically just cut about a 4 to 6 inch pigtail off of the seat switch, so that if I had to put it back on there later, if I decided to get a John Deere seat, I could. So that's just one other thing that I forgot to mention earlier with that, but it does have that option on it. So that is my Aftermarket Z-Track suspension seat review. There are other options for some aftermarket seats that are around the same price range that have showed up recently that you can look at, but if you just look up zero turn suspension seat, you'll get a bunch of options and stuff. But like I said, I bought this one off of eBay. It was like $380, $400. Good buy, much better ride. So yeah, hopefully this was helpful for somebody, and y'all let me know y'all's thoughts. Have y'all bought an aftermarket seat? Has anybody out there that maybe has a Z-Track bought a suspension seat? Or I think they have a Comfort Glide and then they have a 360 suspension seat. So it's two different ones. Y'all let me know y'all's thoughts. Appreciate y'all taking the time to watch this video. I'm getting a little over the 10-minute mark, I think. So I'm going to wrap this one up and say thank y'all as always. And y'all be safe, be kind, be blessed, and catch y'all on the next one. Thanks, everybody.